And good Saturday morning. Welcome to Sports Talk. David Keever, Mike Powell, Brett Keever. Glad to have you with us. Beautiful blue skies, less humidity in the air. It actually feels like a June morning out there, maybe even a May morning.
Well, it's don't go that far.
As compared to what we've had during this past week.
Oh, boy.
What we're still to get yet next week.
Did I see triple digits in the forecast?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. For those summer lovers. And the first day of summer would be on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, the summer solstice. When is that? 20th?
Well, it varies. Sometimes it's 21st.
Right.
Sometimes I think it's maybe even as late as 20. I'm not sure, though. But I thought somebody had told me that Monday would be the official first day of summer. And we always are hot, before summer gets here. I mean, that's just the way it works. Once the 90-degree hits in May, you never go back, it seems like. But this has just been a little more brutal over this past week than what we're used to. Now, I will say this. I don't know if everybody in the area got it, but some days thunderstorms, some days clouds, I think really helped us a little bit, bailed us out a little bit, give us some cover from the sunshine for a few hours and let the air conditioners catch up a little bit. And Brett might not agree. He might shake his head. Now, when did it catch up? He said it might have caught up about 3 a.m. But, it's
reminds me of the Matchbox 20 song, 3 a.m. I must be
burning up
Yeah.
this week.
Not lonely, burning up.
Everybody was lonely because they were getting away from everybody else because of the high temperatures. Didn't want to be around anybody. Does the high temperatures, you go out in public and everything, make people more irritable? I don't go out much anymore. I just I've become a hermit. But I just wonder if that's what you always hear. People are don't deal with the heat too well, so they take it out on other people. But
do you find as you age that you deal with the heat less well than you did when you were younger?
No.
Okay.
You know why?
You don't go out.
That's right. I don't deal with it unless very necessary, And even on the back patio, there's a fan, It's like, so it makes it just a little more bearable, But it's been rough and going to get rough again next week. Yet things move on. Things continue. We've got baseball going on, Major League Baseball.
By the way, a grand night last night in Major League Baseball. Does anybody know why?
Well, I'm guessing there was a few slams.
3 of them.
Just 3? I thought you were going to tell me there was like one in every park last night.
Even 3, though.
Is 3 a lot?
I don't know.
For a single night? Okay, do you know who hit them?
And I just happened to hear it in passing on the way up. You're listening to Marty McGee, by the way.
Who are you?
Whom we were just talking about before the show.
So, okay, I'll look here at my score.
Somebody from the Yankees hit one.
No kidding. That shocked me. And I will say this, though. For once, they actually had to hit the ball because they played in Toronto last night. It wasn't just pop up behind second base. That thing's out of here. Mm-hmm. Second baseman drifts back, and all of a sudden it's out of here. It's that 235-foot shot to right center.
It's even shorter than the left field and Fraley Field.
They made the I put my TV a lot of times on my channel. Brett would know what this is, Mike. You wouldn't. DirecTV 720 because 720 is the homepage of Major League Baseball Network, and it's got like up to 8 games, Brett, on that screen at a time. Just little squares, and you can watch 8 games at a time, and you can put the sound on whichever one you want. And I happened to have it on that the other night. And if it's the Yankees, I will always flip to a different one for the sound because I'm not going to listen to, it's far, it's deep, it's gone. It's just, it's the whiner.
Aren't they on another win streak?
Like 44 out of 45, something like that. I mean, they're not going to lose. And that's, a good discussion for this morning is why is Major League Baseball the worst professional sport in America?
Because of the money gap between teams?
No parity.
Yeah.
You are either – there's very few mediocre teams if you look on here. You're either really good or downright horrible.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of space in between, is there? I mean,
that's right.
You're going to look at the standings and you'll say, well, you're wrong because here's a team that's not great, but they're
500.
Yeah, but somebody's got to be.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be. It's because they're beating up on other teams. So I guess a good question for the day, Mike and Brett. And Brett's really into something over there, and I can't wait to see what, because he's studying hard. And
he's probably looking at, has Steph Curry now moved into the top 5 of all time?
I thought you were going to say pictures of Beyonce.
No, I was looking at baseball standings.
I know he doesn't like the Warriors. I'm just
baseball what?
I was looking at the standings.
Well, he is in no man's land.
First, I was looking to see who hit those grand slams.
Well,
I only looked at the Yankees game.
Let me guess. Judge.
No, the Yankees hit 4 home runs, and he was not one of them.
How about that?
Stanton, LeMahieu, Rizzo, and Gallo all hit home runs. Rizzo was the grand slam.
Is Judge the cockiest player you've ever seen in baseball?
I think you only say that because he's a Yankee.
Well, that's part of it.
Because I don't.
The rest of them, though, don't come across that way, though, Brett. I don't say that about the rest of them. Rizzo's the one that hit the walk-off the other night that went 249.
I would say Stanton seems cockier to me than Judge does, but
do you? He's earned it. He's been around how many years now? At least 10 in the league?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? Of course, Judge is what now? He's probably in year 4 or 5.
More than that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And speaking of grand slams,
It's his 7th year.
Well,
Judge is 30.
Let him tell me who all hit him last night.
I only know so far that Rizzo.
So it was Rizzo.
I can't think of the other teams.
Yeah.
Judge was 2 for 5, no home runs.
It wasn't their opponent, Toronto, because they only scored 3. It could have been the Mets. It's 10 runs last night, just looking around here. What about the Phillies, man? Now I will say this about the Phillies. Fire Joe Girardi. And been on fire ever since.
Yeah, how does that figure?
Can't tell you who the new skipper is. It's not right off the top of my head. But
you think it's just a matter of changing? I mean,
sometimes
change is good sometimes.
Sometimes, and I'm not saying Girardi is like this, but sometimes the manager and the team's just not a good fit.
It's not.
We know
Joe Girardi is a great manager.
Yeah, we found out. I don't follow this very close. Brett probably knows more about this than you and I, Mike. But the Charlotte soccer team, I don't even remember their name now.
Yeah.
Charlotte Football Club. The Charlotte Football Club.
That's right.
They fired their coach recently.
Yeah.
And all the players afterwards came out and said, "What a relief."
Yeah. Sometimes it's toxic. Right.
They were playing pretty good, but they said, "What a relief. We didn't like playing for this guy. He was more, preparation wasn't about getting on the field and practicing. It was different ways, different things in preparation. They just didn't communicate well.
It doesn't always work.
Nope, and they seemed to get a little better as well. They were already pretty good. They got better, it seems like, after he stepped down. Am I right, Brett, in saying all that there about the Charlotte Football Club? But it looks like that's what happened here.
Pete Alonso was one of the home runs.
I saw that last night.
One of the grand slams.
It popped up on my screen. Why couldn't I remember that? And I even sat here and said the Mets might have been one of them. So.
And then Michael Brantley.
Is that getting old?
Michael Brantley of Houston.
Remembering something. He don't remember if it is or not. Who was the third?
Michael Brantley. Astros.
Okay. Yeah, Astros. I do remember that now.
And the Astros last night, let's see, they're not on my original screen here. I have to pull their score up.
They beat the White Sox
a different way,
13-3. They had a 10-run inning.
Woo! 10-run inning.
They actually hit 3 home runs that inning.
What inning was it?
6th.
The 6th.
It was 3-3 going into that inning. They scored 10.
Yeah, they probably felt pretty comfortable after that, right?
Well, yeah. Speaking of what you said, the imbalance. A couple of these races seem over already. And it's June.
Well, here we go. I'm going to give this score first just for Butch Parker and A.J. Henley. Red Sox 6, Cardinals 5 last night. And I did not watch one pitch for whatever reason. I don't remember why. I didn't get to see any of it, of course. I could have, but I didn't watch any. But 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors, 5-10 and 0. 6-11 for Boston, 5-10 for the Cardinals. And the reason I wanted to throw that out there, AJ and his daughters are making their first trip ever to Fenway this weekend. He's in Boston right now. So
great trip.
And I don't know. I'll ask him in a little bit on text. I don't know if he saw last night's game and today's. He was going to 2 games, or if it was get in yesterday and then go to Saturday and Sunday. But I'm not sure which one. But he said he's always been a Cardinal fan, but visiting Fenway is on his bucket list. So he's getting that out of the way and getting to see his team play.
Yeah, I wonder if that. I remember his daughter. I wonder if it's Bailey. She played softball at Cherryville. Oh.
Daughters is what I said.
Daughters, okay, both daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bailey played softball at Cherryville. I think they went to Carolina. I'm not sure.
The Red Sox get that win last night at Fenway Park. Waka, a former Cardinal pitcher, right, Brett?
Yep.
Facing his old team and going against probably the best 40-year-old pitcher in Major League Baseball right now. Isn't he 40? Wainwright?
Yep.
40 or 41?
Yep, he's 40.
Okay. And just a workhorse kind of guy. I mean, he took the loss last night, but, he's still their guy. I'll put it that way when it comes to pitching. And if they make it to the playoffs and it all works, he'll be the game 1 starter, I would guess. So why did you direct the shot at me, says Butch Parker. I'm just messing with you, Butch. I know you're hey, listen. Baseball is baseball. It's not a shot, I promise. Just pick. But the Cardinals could come back and win the next 2 easily. That's just the way baseball is.
We know they'll be there at the end of the season.
They almost came back and won last night. They got 4 in the 9th.
Yep, it was 6-1.
To cut it to 1.
Lenny just said up 6-1 and needed every run they could get, and wound up hanging on for a 6-5 win last night. You said they got 4 in the top of the night?
Yeah.
Wow. The Phillies beat the Nationals twice yesterday. One time was 5-3. The other was 8-7. I watched some of that 8-7 game. They actually a similar situation as that Boston-St. Louis game. They had to hang on at the very end. I think the Nats pushed 2 runs across in the 9th of that first game, and had 2 on second and third. Not 2 on each base, but 2 on with 2 outs before the final out. And that game was made. Been seeing a lot of reviews lately in Major League Baseball. Have you guys noticed that we've had what seems to be a lot of reviews, even in the college game? Quite a few yesterday in the college games.
On a play in the Notre Dame, Texas game.
Overturned.
Yeah.
It was overturned. And it was a beautiful play by the second baseman for Notre Dame, going back in the hole, throwing. And honestly, when I saw it, in game time speed, first time, I thought he was out too. It was pretty much simultaneous, but they did switch it and give it to the. Yep, switched it and gave it to the.
And how about those Sooners? A grand slam in that game.
Yeah. Well, okay. I got a list here. We're going to go over in a minute. Let's get through the baseball scores, and then we'll talk about those Sooners. Okay, Mike.
I'm just overjoyed. Yep. We could win the baseball title too.
Could win the baseball title too.
Or at least in the running.
You're in the running. You're in the running. And football is how far away?
Not that far.
Not that far. How far is football away from winning?
A little further than they were before
10
Lincoln
years ago.
Riley's departure.
Oh, you think that played a part?
Hmm.
You think they have a better shot now that he's gone?
I can't say that. After all, how many college playoffs did?
I think Notre Dame's a little further now that Brian Kelly's gone. Even though I love Marcus Freeman.
Yeah.
And help me with the name. Isn't the Clemson DC the new coach?
Brent Venables.
Brent Venables is the new head coach. Is that right, at Oklahoma? So they're going to shift, and they need to. They need a defensive-minded coach because they've had offense forever.
Yeah, it'll probably be the first time Oklahoma's played defense in 10 years. I think they will play good defense, if nothing else.
Yeah, well, yeah.
They're not going to put up numbers like Lincoln Riley's team.
We'll put it this way. We don't know what kind of quality defensive players they've been recruiting.
That's
but they will be coached well.
Coached well.
They will be coached well.
We know that.
They should be tougher, more physical.
Because Venables got it done against the SEC.
Right.
Which gives him a lot of credit.
Against the ACC.
Will they
in the ACC. I'm talking about in the college football playoffs.
Will they keep the same caliber quarterbacks that they've had
Yeah,
with Lincoln Riley.
That run of Heisman winners
with a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
Now, that's the chance you take. Is what Brett said.
What are you going to do? You got. But I think going into the SEC, whenever they do, Venables, I think, will be a better asset because he's played against the SEC at the highest level. He knows how to coach defense, and so I feel good about that.
Which leads to a great poll question. When Oklahoma joins the SEC, will Venables still be the head coach?
Will they run him out on a rail?
Will he make it that long? Because we don't know if it's going to be 2 years, if it's going to be 5 years.
Well, we know the end of the contract is 2025. So that's 3 more.
But I'm just talking about when they go into the when they enter the SEC, it could be up to 4 or 5 more years. Yeah. So and even if it's 2 years, well, you don't know. That'd be good. Which way would you vote?
If he has 3 bad years in a row, he's probably gone.
Let's go back to baseball, and then I'll ask you a few Oklahoma questions. And as we go through baseball, Lenny says Wainwright didn't have his battery mate last night. Molina has been put on the IL. That's an ageist wonder as well is Yadier Molina. How many years has he been behind the plate for the Cardinals? And the traveling Molina brothers. I mean, how many were there? 7?
Yeah, a bunch of them.
It wasn't but like 3, I think.
There were at least 3 in the majors at one time, but none of them
seemed like a lot more. Some of them were journeymen.
Yadi Molina by far the best of those, the best career.
How about this? The Braves on a 14-game winning streak, the Cubs on a 10-game losing streak. The Cubs win 1-0 in both streaks, 1-0. 5 hits total in the game. It says the Cubs became first team in 23 years to stop a losing streak of 10 or more. What's the rest of that say, Brett? If I click on it, it might take me somewhere I don't want to go. But 2 streaks ended on the same day.
That's
in
unusual.
Wrigley. Yeah. 2 double-digit streaks. Yeah, wonder when the last time was a team with a double-digit win streak went up against a team with a double-digit.
They're the first team in 23 years to stop a 10-game or more losing streak while ending
their own
a 10-game or more winning streak.
How about that? 23 years ago that happened, and
and that probably
that was 99.
The chance of that happening probably doesn't come around.
No,
often.
that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, if you got a chance, chances are the odds are you're gonna win 1 of the 3 games in a 3-game set, but it worked out for them yesterday, 1-0. The Cubs improve to 24-40. Mike Powell, 24-40. I bet Bob Cowie's not too happy about what's going on.
Their championship season seems so long ago now. When they put it all together. And
we've hammered New York before because of their sports. How good is Chicago's?
Mediocre,
at best.
Yeah, I mean
Bears. Mediocre,
take away that one magic
best.
Season for the Cubs.
What about the Blackhawks? What kind of season did they have? I know I hadn't heard anything about them in the last month.
Know.
So that
tells the Bulls made the playoffs. They had a good season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not compared to Michael's Bulls.
They had to face Milwaukee in the first round.
Can we name one Bulls player,
series.
David? Can you name one Bulls player? I'm struggling.
Cartwright.
Scottie Pippen.
Brett gets that. What was Cartwright's first name?
Bill Cartwright.
Yeah. What was the one of my favorite guys all time for
Steve
them?
Kerr.
No, the white center. That
the white center.
The big tall guy with the beard. Obviously, he's a big tall guy, right?
Yeah.
He's
sort of a mop-up guy.
I don't care if he played guard. He was a big
Bill Weddington.
That's it.
St. John's.
Yeah. Bill
Luke
Weddington. He's the first guy popped in my mind. I saw his face.
What about Luke Longley?
Luke Longley.
Yeah, Luke Longley.
No, DeMar DeRozan is their best player currently.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zach LaVine.
Is DeRozan one of the guys that we never heard about playing college? Or did he – Arizona? Or did he play college? Now Arizona popped in my head.
You might be right.
He's one and done if he played, right? Because I don't remember him from college.
He was definitely a West Coast player. But
we never hear about them anyway.
I was thinking either Southern Cal or UCLA.
Well, I don't know why Arizona popped in my mind anyway. Probably way off base, but Rodney Willis says Southern Cal.
Southern Cal,
Southern Cal.
It was a Trojan.
One and doneer, probably.
Yeah, he was.
I would think. So,
yeah.
Yep, one and done, and was drafted by Doubles. Is that?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so.
Toronto. It's where he played his first 9 or 10 years.
Where everybody goes to leave.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah. What I hated for him was that, they traded him for Kawhi Leonard, and then they won the championship the 1 year Kawhi Leonard was there.
Yeah.
Rodney says underrated player.
Yeah, he is.
Is he? We're gonna get all kind of stuff if we can today, but the big debate yesterday or Thursday, one morning I heard on one of the sports shows was and JJ Redick's on one of the shows now and does a good job. He does he does as good as anybody.
He's a rising star. They're pitting him against Stephen A.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Rodney says DeRozan's a really good defensive player. But they brought up a name, and it was Anthony Davis. And they said, is he a top 7 player? Why do you pick 7? I don't know why they pick 7, but they wonder if he's a top 7 player.
The magnificent 7.
Which means they don't believe he's in the top 6. That's what it tells me.
Yeah.
They don't believe he's – yeah. And
is he the 7th best player in the NBA, basically what they're saying? When healthy.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And you know what?
Qualifier?
So you've
So no, he's not.
That's right. So you've always got an argument if you can say when healthy, because nobody knows when he's healthy or he's not except himself.
Yeah.
Nobody knows when he's 100% healthy.
I say you have to say the
That's
same
a cop-out.
Same about Kawhi Leonard. Is he a top 7 player when he's healthy?
Right. And that's just a cop-out.
Well, how about you
got to throw in the injuries in, and you say no. You just have to say no because you have to throw in those injuries because they go with them all. They suffer with them. Some players all the time. It's just it's just bound to happen to them.
Who's the player that went from
like McCaffrey and
the 76ers late in the season?
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons. Now he's a case of oft injured. Don't know.
Yeah, up
doesn't
top.
seem to want to play.
Yeah. Maybe he and Zion can hang out together.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Anthony Davis is a top 7 talent, but. Would you take him if they were, starting from scratch?
Absolutely not.
No, there's no way you'd take him top 7
because of the injury history.
You might not take him in the first round.
Well, we're at 823. I've given what 3 scores, 4 scores,
4 score,
4 scores.
There's a speech about that.
4 scores and many games ago. Back to where we were. We left off with the Cubs beating the Braves 1-0. The Orioles shut out the Rays. Boy, the Rays have really hit the skids as well. Of course, they just left Yankee Stadium, if that tells you anything. Took a tail whipping in Yankee Stadium and now lose last night to the Orioles 1-0. Although out hitting the Orioles 8-5 in that game. Brewers 5-4 over the Reds. Phillies, like we talked about earlier, hot right now. Won the first game yesterday 8-7. We already told you they won the nightcap as well 5-3. The Giants, Mike, happy camper over there. San Francisco Giants.
Yep.
Defeated the Pirates 2-0. Boy, hammered that powerhouse Pittsburgh team 2-0. 8 hits total in the game. Yankees over the Blue Jays 12-3. 14 hits for the Yankees. Brett tells me there's 4 home runs.
Yep.
4 different players hit home runs last night for the Yankees, including a Rizzo grand slam. The Mets over the Marlins 10-4. 10 runs, including a help me with his name again.
Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso, grand slam in that one. Rangers shut out the Tigers 7-0. Another team that deserves better. Another city that deserves better baseball is Detroit, and they are 24-40. Just like who else did I say was 24-40 on the season?
Is that the most sad sack city in
the Cubs,
the majors and pro sports? Detroit could make a case for them.
Yeah, you could. I'd say them, Chicago, New York.
New York.
And that's 3 major cities right there.
The 2 of which are the biggest markets, right? No, LA is the second biggest market.
Right.
Chicago third.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
New York first.
Astros over the White Sox 13-3, and Mike and Brett informed me third grand slam of the day belonged to the Astros.
Michael Brantley.
The Rockies beat the Padres 10-4. The Royals over the A's 5-1. The D-backs over the Twins 7-2. The Mariners over the Angels 8-1. And the Guardians, Brett, The Guardians over the Dodgers, 2-1 last night. You didn't stay awake and watch all that, did you? 10 innings, by the way.
Yeah, the Dodgers, I think, are 0-6 in extra inning games now.
Really?
I don't know what their issue is. And a lot of these games, they're the home team. And, you got that runner at second to start the inning down by 1. I don't know why they have so much trouble getting that run, because it's a lot of these games they're losing by 1 run in extra innings. And they've really been struggling to hit lately. Just 1 run last night on a Bellinger home run. Mookie's been cold. Freddie Freeman's been cold. I don't know what their deal is.
Mentally? Maybe it's in their head a little bit to go into extra innings. We can't.
Maybe it's the Padres not only breathing down their neck, but now tied with them in the NL West.
Did not.
The Dodgers were swept by the Giants last weekend.
Hey.
And then they beat the Angels 2 games this week.
Who hasn't?
Yeah.
Not for whatever reason.
Now, tough series with Cleveland. Cleveland's a pretty good pitching staff.
Right. Yankees lead all of baseball. They lead the American League East 48-16 by 11 games. Tampa's 13 out, Boston 13.5, and the Orioles are 20. How about this? Boston now is 5 games over 500 after a horrible start they got off to. I think they were 12 under at one time, maybe. 35-30 is not horrible.
No, it's not.
And they're 13.5 back. So that just shows you how
well
they
got to look at it like they're playing for a wild card.
Yep.
And
they
can get. Yeah, right now, they would be.
Yeah.
So they just got to keep up how they've been playing.
Well, everybody else in that division is playing for a wild card now.
Outside of that
and they're all
division,
good.
there's not a lot of
they're
teams
all pretty good teams.
over 500.
Except for the others, everybody's pretty good.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about the other divisions. Is that what you're saying? Nobody should. I mean, it looks like if it ended today, of
Cleveland's
course,
over 500.
all the wild cards would come out of that division.
Yeah, Cleveland is over 500.
Okay.
And the White Sox are 2 games under 500. I still think they'll make a run.
That's a talented team to be under 500. Yeah, still don't understand that. Maybe they need to send Joe Girardi there.
Yeah, I did not expect Minnesota to be leading the Central.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, Brett. They talked about them last year, that they thought they'd be a very good team last year, but they had so many injuries early, they got off to a slow start. And I'm talking like 15 games maybe below 500 at one time. So everybody said that is a talented team. And maybe it's stepping up this year and showing what they can do when injuries don't figure in. They're 37-29. Lead Cleveland by 1, the White Sox by 5, Tigers by 12, Royals by 13.5. If you are below Detroit in the standings, you are not a very good team. Houston is 40-24, followed by Texas at 9. These things are just out of hand. Texas is 9 games out. Angels are – now, Texas is a big market, too. The Dallas area and Fort Worth, big market. There's no reason for them not to have a better team. I mean, they spent a lot of money to get them a shortstop. Took Brett's shortstop away, Seager. So I really don't understand what's going on there in that organization. The Angels are 11 back, Seattle 11.5, Oakland 19. On the National League side, the Mets have the best record in the National League. So how about New York baseball right now? It's peaking.
Yep.
The Mets are 43-23, followed by the Braves at 5.5 back. 14-game winning streak by the Braves got them. Closed a lot of gap, but yet they're still 5.5 behind the Mets, who've been very consistent. The Phillies are 8 back, the Marlins are 13 back, and the Nationals are 21 out. Cardinals lead the Central by a slim 1-game margin over Milwaukee. 37-29 Cardinals lead Milwaukee by 1. The Pirates by 10.5. The Cubs by 12. The Reds by 13. The Padres and the Dodgers a virtual tie for first place. It says here that mathematically the Dodgers are a half game out. 41-25, 39-24.
They've just played 3 less games. So,
yep. And of those 3 games, San Diego was 2-1 in those. The ones that give them the half game lead.
Yeah.
Actually they might have been 0-3 in those games, right? The Dodgers, the Giants are third at 3.5 back.
7-3. over the last 10 games, they're starting to.
They're playing
catching
well.
up a little
They're
bit.
playing well. And you know what? They hung around long enough that they can be in the race, you know?
Yeah.
The Diamondbacks are 10 back. The Rockies are 12.5 back of the West leading San Diego Padres. Lenny says another big man for the Bulls, when we were talking about the Bulls, was Will Perdue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember him playing.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he play college ball?
Oh, boy.
I don't know.
But the reason I asked is because it came in my mind. Did he play at Purdue?
I don't think so.
I don't believe he played that for the Boilermakers.
Yeah, it is spelled differently, you know. But
where did he play?
yeah,
Yeah.
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. An
Vanderbilt.
odd place to come from.
yeah, not too many NBA
No.
players from Vanderbilt. I'll just put it that way.
Mm-mm.
One game out from Tampa Bay, 3 out from Toronto are currently the third wild card is Boston. And Lenny also says Vanderbilt, like you guys did. All right, we're going to take our first time out. And as we go to that timeout, I'm going to leave you with we're going to talk about the College World Series and some Oklahoma sports when we come back. But leave you with this. And please try to get this on your own. See how many you can name. 6 teams, 6 schools have made the College World Series at least 20 times. How many can you name? Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Fort Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden, and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Welcome back. Did I get any text? I did get a text.
You always get that.
Lenny is guessing the teams. I don't know the answer. So I love the honesty and,
I know one.
and the fact that he didn't look it up.
Yeah.
Because if somebody gets this, they either heard it very recently and got a good memory, or they looked it up.
I heard one very recently.
Tell me who you heard.
Texas.
Yeah, most all time.
Because the ECU series.
38.
Yeah.
38 appearances. I won't name the rest in case anybody else wants to try and guess.
I'll guess one other.
We'll throw them out there. You and Brett are
Stanford.
welcome to throw them out there.
Stanford Cardinal.
Not listed.
Okay.
No, not listed.
UCLA?
But now,
Arizona.
Dang. That's funny what you said and what you said. And you're so close. That ought to give two away.
USC?
Yes. Southern Cal. 21.
Arizona State.
Yep, 22.
Miami.
Number 3 all time. With
All right.
Excuse me, number 2 all time with 25 appearances.
All right. We're getting them.
Yep. Yeah. And if you think a little bit, you've named 4 now. Texas, Miami. That's 1 and 2. You haven't got number 3. You got 4 and 5 with Arizona State and Southern Cal. And the hardest one's going to be number 6. And obviously it should be, right? Because you guys should think a minute and get number 3.
Florida State?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Florida State's number 3 with 23 appearances. So you got 38, 25, 23, 22. Southern Cal's got 21. And then this school has 20.
20.
Rice.
That's not a bad guess because that's not them, but that's not because they've been there quite a bit lately, haven't they? Rice has been there quite a bit lately. Vanderbilt's been there quite a bit
Cal State,
lately.
Fullerton. Like they make
Oregon
make some
State.
appearances.
I know, Mike. Same initials.
Oklahoma State.
Number 6,
All right.
Oklahoma State. The Cowboys. How long would it really took you to get that if I hadn't gave that clue? I mean,
Yeah, probably
was it way down the list in your mind?
Yeah,
That,
I wasn't thinking
I would have guessed
the
Oregon
Cowboys.
State
Yeah.
like you did. But,
Simply because of their domination of North Carolina.
But that's just recently. You see that, Lenny? He had to throw a jab.
I'd throw a jab in there.
Mike always about getting that left
UNC
jab in.
dreams crushed again this year.
Yep. But I found that quite interesting. You know, of course, Texas, they talk about that, and they should. I mean, what was Augie's last name? That was wasn't it Augie? That was a long-time head coach at Texas. Might have even passed away recently. What is wrong with me this morning? And it's not just this morning. I'll put it that way. And we discussed this too. You know, Notre Dame is prospering right now. This is their first trip to Omaha in 20 years. Did I hear? But their head coach is Lincoln. There again, I forgot to look that up. His last name, or Link. His full name's Lincoln, but he goes by Link, and I can't think of the last name right now. But played his baseball at Florida State, and guess what? Florida State fired their coach a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So they're sitting and waiting on Notre Dame to finish. Link Jarrett. Angie Garrisons. What is I'm trying to say? What would that be the answer to?
Was that the Texas coach?
I hope not. Well, I shouldn't say that. Did I hope?
Well, maybe that was a autocorrect.
Yeah, it could be.
Now, here's an interesting question based on the 8 teams they're in it now. Which program has produced the most major leaguers, from the draft era?
In the college ranks?
The field for the College World Series.
Arizona State?
Though this year, the team.
Just out of the 8.
Just out of the 8.
Oh. So the 8 okay, I got you now. The 8 teams that are there, which one has produced the most major leaguers? God, that's a good question, Mike Powell. I'd have to sit here and think a little bit of who I was there. Here,
Well, I would have to guess Texas.
Just because they've been.
My guess.
Oh, I thought you had the answer.
No.
Oh, not one of those.
I just threw that one out there.
I'm glad we found out. I'm glad we found out you didn't have an answer.
Mind.
Don't ask questions when you don't have the.
I got a good idea.
That's okay.
I know it's not Texas.
You know it's not Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, because just because they've been 38 times don't mean they produced the most major leaguers. So which one would you go with, Mr. Good Idea? If you got to think about it, you didn't have a good idea.
I think Stanford.
Do you?
I do.
Name me a Major League Baseball player from Stanford.
I am struggling with that one.
Do you know any, Brett?
And I'm sure I do, but I can't
Me
name one.
Me too. I'm sure there's household names.
Yeah.
But I don't remember them going.
To Stanford.
Yeah.
That coach was Augie Garrido. Garrido, okay.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to spell here, and he got Angie Garrison's out of the. My spell checker worked. Texas coach Augie Garrido. My spell checker won't work. Oh, it's working. It just couldn't believe somebody was named Augie Garrido. That's what. I was going to guess Cherville as number 6, as being to the College World Series the most times. I like it. Butch. And he said, now here's what Spellcheck did for Butch. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, Butch, and say Spellcheck did this because his says AUGGOE, ago, GARIFOS. Garifos. So, yeah, when you start typing in names that are a little different like that, it's no telling what you come up with. Ned Yates, Augie Garrido, Texas. The former coach of the Longhorns a long time. And just, somebody informed me, didn't he pass away not long after
2018.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he stepped down when?
2016.
Wow, that happens so much,
Yep.
that just within a couple of years, and I don't know if his health took him out or if he just figured it was time. How old was he when he died?
79.
79. Yep, really good coach.
Texas,
obviously.
20 years.
When would you guys say, and we'll ask everybody, when did the College World Series burst onto the scene? Because it's always been around, and it's always, as far as I know, at least in the modern day era, it's always been out in Omaha, as Peyton Manning would say.
Yep.
But when did it burst onto the scene and become, which I'm glad it is, it's big time today, and it gets a lot of TV coverage, and there was a time they wasn't even on television, but when ESPN came along, I don't know if they televised that right away.
I would say
79.
early 2000s was probably when I started paying attention to it.
It's a more of a recent phenomenon. Yeah, ESPN came on in what, 1980,
79, I think.
Yeah, and of course they were doing sports that nobody ever even thought of televising. I'm not sure when they started doing the College World Series at ESPN.
Butch said that he would have picked Cherville to be the 6th team with the most appearances. Well, Lenny says something here that may be true. But Lenny says, maybe not the team, but post-100 coach Bobby Reynolds may have been to the College World Series 20 times.
Yeah.
And he's out there again
We know
right
that
now.
He annually goes, right?
Yep, he's out there checking it out right now.
It's a good time because his team, the Cherville Post 100 seniors, don't have any games this weekend. I don't know when they start back.
Did you know Florida State?
Now, wait a minute.
Florida
Mike
State's
says-
never won it.
Mike says it's a good time because his team don't have a game this week. Who do you think makes the schedule?
Yeah, he does.
for
He's
that?
the athletics director. He figures it out.
Yeah.
He always works at about a week gap so he can go out.
Garrido Butch says, I heard him speak at in Oklahoma one time. He was funny, great motivator, and cussed like a sailor. And he's talking about Augie. I think he's been caught live on the tube a couple times, hadn't he, when he's out on argument of a play or something? What was the last thing one of you two guys brought up?
I said, did you know Florida State has never
won it? Never won it.
Been
And
23 times.
Yeah. That has to sting
Now,
a
that's
little.
frustration.
That has to sting a little more than ECU's sad
32
claim to
times.
fame. Yeah,
32 times in the tournament.
and not making the CWS. And this has to be as close as they've ever come. I mean, they had a 4-run lead with 9 outs to get last Saturday, but couldn't close the door.
7-2 at one point.
Was it?
In the seventh.
Yeah.
That has to be the most frustrating
They had a 5
ever.
run. Then they had a 5-run lead with 9 outs.
So
to get.
that's their most excruciating failure to get to the College World Series.
All right, listeners, help me out with Mike Powell here, okay? Oklahoma softball, national champions.
Yeah, baby.
National champions. Oklahoma baseball, 1-0
Well, no.
in the College World Series. All right, here we go. Oklahoma football, number 10 nationally with an 11-2 record. Who were the 2 losses to this past year, Mike?
Lost to Baylor for 1.
Did they?
Yes.
So they lost a bowl game, or
And
did they win their
Oklahoma
bowl
State.
game? They lost to Oklahoma State. They're bitter rivals from down
in
the road.
Bedlam.
Oklahoma basketball this year. Care to guess?
It's not very good. I think they made the big dance, though.
No.
They didn't even make the big dance? Ooh.
19-16, 7-11 in conference play, 8th out of 10
Not very good.
in the conference. Their
Their longtime
coach,
coach, Lon Kruger, retired.
Okay.
So, I mean, they're in transition.
You giving them a break is what you're doing.
Okay.
Big-time programs don't ever sleep,
Yeah.
right?
They won the national championships in women's gymnastics this year. Hey.
You are really leading up to my question here very, very well. Women's basketball, number 21 in the country, went 25-9.
Not bad.
Did make the NCAA tournament, obviously, if you're ranked 21 in the country, right?
Respectable.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Mike just says the gymnastics teams, which I didn't look that up. I just went with the major sports.
Yeah.
So is Oklahoma now a women's college sports powerhouse?
Hey. Ew. Well, 2 national championships and 1 sports year. That says something, doesn't it?
Is Oklahoma University now a women's sports powerhouse?
Ooh.
Ahead of the men. I'll put it that way. Ahead of the men. Have they passed the men? Because, frankly, Mike, number 10 in football is not bad.
No.
But that's not where Oklahoma wants to end.
No, we don't want to end there. No.
11-2, not bad. But they lost 2 rivalry games to conference opponents.
Yeah.
Well,
and we hadn't won a national championship since 2000.
and that blew my mind when you told me that. I asked you that about a month ago, and you said 2000, and that just blew my mind.
Now, don't get me wrong. They've been in 4 or 5 of them. Well, Stoops was in 2. They lost to LSU and Saban, and then they lost to Tim Tebow in Florida. So that's 2. That was BCS, before the college.
I wonder who the
football.
quarterbacks were for Alabama and who the quarterback was for Oklahoma. Because you just named me Tebow.
And
Tebow was a great college
I think
quarterback.
Tebow beat Sam Bradford.
Tebow beat Sam
Bradford.
Bradford 20-14.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I don't know who would the LSU quarterback have been? My God. I can't think of any LSU quarterbacks in the last.
Well, now
25
LSU
years.
there for a while won. They won 1 national championship.
They're 2 different coaches.
Neither team got to 10, did they? Didn't they have one that they
Well,
played 1 year and maybe won 9-3 or something like that, or was that an SEC title game? They there for a while. They just
Yeah.
lived on defense until
9-3.
Joe Burrow came along. But yeah, I just wonder if you could name and might have an answer here. Lenny,
Les
maybe.
Miles, didn't they lose 2 games that year? That Les Miles coached them to the national title, I believe.
Yeah, Les Miles won. Did he win 2?
I think he won 1.
He won 1, but they lost at least 2 games.
They won 2 though in that little time span, didn't they? So who would have been
they
coaching?
also won 1. Saban
won
Saban.
1.
Saban.
Miles won
That's it.
1, and Orgeron won.
Yep.
Orgeron, yeah,
Their
3
last
coaches.
their last 3 coaches have won the national title.
Well, that
A couple things here real
speaks
quick.
well for Brian Kelly, doesn't it?
But put some pressure on him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's going to have pressure. Well, if you're in the SEC, you better expect pressure as a head coach in football. Lenny says Notre Dame coach Link Jarrett's son played in the College World Series last year with North Carolina State. He's a second baseman, J.T. Jarrett. So, I keep as soon as I heard that Link Jarrett played his college ball at Florida State and was the head coach where, Mike, before he is now the head coach at Notre Dame. Do you know where he was head coach before he went to Notre Dame?
I do not.
I'm pretty sure it was UNC Greensboro.
Was it?
Yep. But yeah, that's interesting that his son got to play in the College World Series. Stoops has been to 3 other title games other than 2000. This is from Butch. Southern Cal was 3rd.
Oh, forgot about that.
And I saw all 3 losses, unfortunately, is what Butch says.
Yeah.
He saw all 3 losses.
Yeah, tried
in
to
person.
tried to forget the title game against USC and Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart and all that. But yeah, 4 times for Stoops.
And I'd like to know the name of this person, Scott Cloninger. Scott Cloninger says, talked to a former player at Carolina who played in 3 College World Series and told me the old Rosenblatt Stadium was an old great tradition place for the tournament. It's all upgraded now. Or did they bulldoze it and start over?
I think they start over.
Or
They started
did they just
over.
renovate? I mean, it's state-of-the-art looking
Yeah.
now.
I believe
and
it's
real
brand
modern
new.
looking.
Yeah.
But speaking of former Carolina players that have played in the College World Series,
Who would
one
that
of the budding stars at UNC is Vance Honeycutt, who we saw play quarterback here in Maiden against Salisbury a couple years ago. Tremendous-looking athlete.
And he
You
made
wouldn't-
unbelievable outfield plays.
Yes, he did, and that's what I was going to say. I read his dad played in maybe the 99, 98, whenever Carolina went to the College World Series. His dad played in the College World Series then, known as Bob Honeycutt the 5th, and Vance, by the way, is Bob Honeycutt the 6th. He just elected to go by Vance. But, yes, he is 20-some home runs this year, 24 for a freshman, and tremendous center field play. He's a major league star, in my opinion, in waiting. Not just player, but I think at some point in time he's going to be a major league star sometime down the road. So, you tell me. You tell me. Just real quick here, trying to find. Let's see Brett, tell me how the U.S. Open is shaping up while I'm looking for something here on my computer, because we're moving to day 3. I did see that 4 of the infamous LIV golfers have made the cut. Not Phil Mickelson, by the way. They were quick to point that out. The way they put it on the TV last night was 5th worst score of the tournament, 5th worst score of the first 2 days. So, what's going on? Who's the leaders?
I don't know about 5th worst.
Okay. Maybe I read that wrong.
But bad for him. 11 over is what he finished after 2 days. Colin Morikawa and Joel Dahmen, I'm not exactly sure how to say it, but are tied at 5 under, and then there are a lot of guys within a shot or 2.
Yep.
Let's see. 5 players, 1 shot back. 5 more at 2 shots back, and some of the notable names: Rory McIlroy is 1 back. John Rahm is 1 back.
He's a defending. Is he defending champ?
Rahm, yeah.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler is 2 shots back. But yeah, a lot of big names in contention. Dustin Johnson, one of the big name LIV players, is +1, which is 6 shots back.
And the LIV is what? 54?
54 holes. Yeah.
454 holes what they play, but it's LIV. LIV stands for, that's Roman numeral.
454.
454.
Yep.
I don't think so.
No,
Just
FOR 454.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it.
I don't know what you're getting at with the.
That's why they. I mean, if you're just wondering why it's LIV.
Oh,
it.
because
It's
they
the
play
reason.
54 holes.
Yeah.
54 holes.
Yep. And yeah, but some people, I mean, may not pick up on.
Yeah, the acronym. yeah.
LIV,
It's
yeah.
actually a Roman numeral.
It is a Roman numeral. I mean, LIV isn't. That's nothing to do with it. They don't use it as an acronym, right?
No?
Okay, it's just
No.
the Roman numeral. Lenny says, as far as Omaha goes, they built an entire new stadium. He thinks closer to town.
Okay.
Closer to town. Scott says Patrick Johnson is Carson's travel ball coach. Told the story that they got off the team bus to walk to the locker room, and hundreds of Auburn fans on each side screaming "Tiger bait." So,
Ooh.
how about that? That's when Carolina and Auburn was in the. SEC fans are pretty ruthless, no matter what the sport. So, yeah, Patrick Johnson playing in the College World Series.
Well, we're always talking about the SEC dominating the college football playoff. Well, 4 SEC teams in this tournament, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Okay, tell me who they are real quick. Texas,
Arkansas,
A&M.
Mississippi, A&M, and
Texas. You didn't say Texas.
No, they're not SEC yet.
no.
That's right. What am I thinking?
Did I say
Ole
Mississippi?
Miss.
Ole Miss.
I think we still left one out.
Ole Miss, Arkansas, Texas, A&M, and Auburn.
Auburn. Maybe, yeah. You might have named them all, and I just didn't catch it. So there's your 4. What I was thinking, though, could the 2 best teams in it quite possibly be Stanford and Notre Dame?
I'm pulling for Notre Dame. I love it. I mean, that's
You hardly ever see. I mean, there's just very, very rare times that you see, not that odd for Stanford, West Coast,
No.
warm weather,
Not at
year
all.
round, even though it may be, in the 40s to 60s range for a while. but
Stanford's 18th appearance in the College World Series.
18, so they're probably next in line.
There are 4 teams that have 18.
Who are the other 3? Well, let's see. Arizona?
Yep.
Okay. UCLA? It's not one of those
No,
California.
UCLA actually only has 5 appearances.
It's not one of those California
Cal State
teams
Fullerton?
with extra.
Yeah.
Is it?
That's one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, 18 appearances, 4 titles.
And so we've named 3?
Yeah.
And not Rice.
No, they have 7.
Okay.
7 appearances, 1
I was
title.
going to go back and go with your old school, as Steely Dan would say. Lenny says about that SEC and the teams that made it, he said it's pretty amazing that all 4 are out of the same division.
oh yeah.
LSU's the other one, 18 appearances.
Roger is bitter. He says anybody but Irish. Let's go, because Irish knocked his Vols out last week.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking. Given Tennessee's height,
Well, yeah, no. I mean, you just don't know when you
Yeah.
get into that tournament.
you don't know.
It basically comes down to deepest pitching staff,
Yep.
especially when you go to the 3rd game. I mean, you might already, I'm just guessing pitching staff, good bullpens. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and pick a favorite in this thing. We do know Notre Dame was a winner last night. If you stayed up and watched it late last night, not real late.
Yeah.
7-3 over Texas, and A&M loses yesterday to Oklahoma, 13-8. Not a good day for Texas schools.
Not at all.
In Omaha.
Eyes of Texas were crying.
Yep, not a good day for those. Now tell me what this is about. And that picture on my screen, I watched this last night, and all the Notre Dame players were eating a banana at the same time.
Yeah, what's that banana
don't know.
thing going on?
Is it some kind of rally tradition? Or,
I guess.
We know there's a team.
well, it says rally bananas in the sentence.
We know there's a team. Is that actually that team in Savannah, the Savannah Bananas?
I don't know, but that looks. Have you ever seen anything on them?
I've seen a little bit.
I saw a show.
Very,
on,
very
story on last
imaginative
week, yeah.
way they play there. And
Everything's 2 hours. Period. You get out of there in
Yeah.
2 hours. It's over. Ball game's
Yeah.
over in 2 hours, whether
Yeah.
it's over or not.
they can do
So,
anything they want. They're kind of an independent team, aren't they?
Mhm.
They're not associated with Major League Baseball.
Probably a lot like the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
when
a lot like the Grizzlies.
Yeah, when Gastonia had that's my guess, but it's all
or maybe like the Honey Hunters.
mainly there you go in because it's a show,
Mm-hmm.
and not
It's
so
a show.
very entertainment, and there were a lot of people there from long ways away just to go see. Some
see
people that on the story I saw had driven from Ohio. Of course, they're probably just wanting to get out of Ohio. So it didn't matter where they went, right?
Just to get out of the Rust Belt.
Do you know who has the most College World Series titles?
The most titles.
Yeah.
Well, it's not Florida State.
Nope.
Miami.
No. They have 4.
How many's LSU got?
6.
Is that the most?
Second most. That's tied for
Now,
second.
here's what's funny. We didn't even name them on being there.
Well, I told you they were one of those 8
Yeah,
teams.
but they've
one of those
made
teams with 8
they've made
teams.
good. So they've won a third of the time when they've been there. So who has won the most? Southern Cal.
12.
So it is Southern Cal.
Yeah.
Wow.
21 appearances, 12 titles.
Yeah.
When's their last appearance?
2001.
I don't remember them.
Wow.
Wow.
2001.
That is a long time.
It is. It don't. For us.
Well, that was their last title. I don't know if that was their last
trip.
But I don't remember them being there.
That might have been their last trip.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something? And wonder why.
Yeah,
happened.
it is. That's their last appearance.
So it makes me wonder what happened. Did the coach leave? Did the coach retire? It makes I just wonder what happened that their program's not been able to make it back.
Do you know who the only team is
in that amount of time
that won the title in their only appearance?
Ooh, only appearance.
I was going to say South Carolina, but they won back to back.
Yeah, South Carolina.
Coastal Carolina.
That's it. Yeah, one appearance, one title. South Carolina's been
Santa
11.
Clears.
Yep, I helped you with South Carolina, didn't I?
Yeah.
South Carolina's been to 11.
Yeah.
And won 2.
Yeah, that made me. When you said South Carolina, that made me think of Coastal.
Any other Carolina team, North or South, been there more than that? More than 11? They haven't, have they?
Well, Clemson has been to 12.
Have they?
But never won.
No titles.
And North Carolina's been to 11 and never won.
I didn't realize Carolina had been to 11. That's a pretty good number.
It is.
But not like Florida State, 23.
Oh,
23, yeah.
23 and no titles. Well, you know what? Okay, I'll say this. It's hard to get there.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what? When you get there, there's 7 other teams. So it's not easy to win.
Yeah, I mean, Texas has been to 38, and they've only won 6, which 6 is good.
It is.
Yeah.
That's still a higher percentage than Florida State. Quite higher for that much. Legendary coach Rod Deschaux did it. Okay, you know how it's EAUX, the Cajun. O. Dedeaux. DEDEAUX. Go ahead and throw it out there, Mike. Pronounce that one for me. Rod DEDEAUX. So I'd say Dedeaux.
Dido, yeah.
Dido or something, yeah. Not Lido, but
no, not Lido.
Yeah.
Not,
interesting, Roger, about all 4 SEC teams coming out of the same. I still think that's okay. In baseball in the conference, like in basketball, you're going to play everybody in your division, or are you? In the split divisions, do they make sure they play everybody twice in college basketball that's within your division? I don't think they do they? Which is crazy. But now in college football.
Wait, college basketball?
In college basketball, do you play everybody in your division?
Well, the ACC
twice?
doesn't have divisions.
Yeah. They don't have
so I don't know what other conferences do.
Maybe they don't have it either. Maybe he's just talking about the football divisions, the way it's separated in football.
I have no idea about baseball.
There's always years that Duke doesn't play NC State twice. Am I right? I mean, there've been those years, so I don't.
I guess my question is: the SEC consists of how many teams right now? Do they have a full 16? I'm guessing they do. So my question is: do they play 15 teams, 3 games? They don't. There's no way, because that's 45 games. You're not playing a 3-game set against everybody, are you? Would be my guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they play some of them twice.
Now, Roger might know that. Roger might keep up with that. Does Tennessee play every single team in the SEC in a 3-game series. I just don't see how you could do it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have time.
No, I doubt. But they could play them. They could play 2 games.
Well, you know how college baseball schedules are set up. Most of there's 3-game sets on the weekends usually.
And you
Maybe
might
a
just go
game
play
a
them
night.
one game on a Wednesday night.
One on a Wednesday.
You know, the ones that you're not playing in a series, maybe it's scheduled where you play them one game.
It's very heavy on series. 3-game
Yeah,
sets.
I guess I can at some point. It's not going to be today. I'll look back and see on a schedule, just to pick up one and see if I can count the teams that they played from just within their conference, because that would be. I don't see how you could do it and schedule anybody else. You know.
Well, most of the teams in this College World Series have played at least 60 games, right? Of course.
Yeah, but I would guess that 10 of them were, maybe not 10, but quite a few were in the process of getting where they are.
Getting where they are, yeah.
You basically got to win 4 in that regional.
Then
and you gotta
2
win.
in the Super.
Yeah. And you might lose some of those.
Yeah.
Roger says
Tennessee played 10
schools.
SEC teams in 3-game
sets.
series.
That's 30, yeah.
They played 10. So no, they don't even play everybody, not even once.
Okay.
During the week, it looks like they play a lot of 1-game. Yeah, like you were saying, either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like they played Western Carolina on a Wednesday, Lipscomb on a Tuesday, Tennessee Tech on a Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah, most of the time those are out of the conference.
Yeah.
Out of the conference.
That's when they throw their number 10 pitcher on the roster.
So, yeah, they played
Game lasts forever.
10 weekend series.
Yeah, it's the way the college, having experienced that with Gaston College this year, that's the way it's set up.
Roger says they don't all play each other.
So it looks like 30 conference games.
But when they do, he said some 3 games, and that's that's the norm there. You play a 3-game set, 3-game series.
And they did play.
So your trip's worthwhile for one thing.
They did play a couple other series, non-conference. They played Georgia Southern, Iona, Rhode Island in 3-game sets.
And that even seems odd, don't it? To go somewhere like that and play somebody out of your league and go play but I guess the whole thing is
and then they played they played Texas once, Baylor once, Oklahoma once.
Scott says he thinks the SEC just has 14 teams right now. But they didn't even – but still, again, they didn't
is Vanderbilt in the league?
They didn't play. In baseball?
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
Very much so.
Yeah, in baseball, very much so. Yeah. Vanderbilt produces a lot of seems to produce – at least in the last 10 years, they produced a lot of major leaguers. I won't go back too far, but in the last 10 years, they've produced quite – and probably some of those off of last year's team and the year before that will –
Tennessee went 25-5 in SEC.
Wow.
SEC play. They do have an East and a West.
Do have an East and a West in baseball.
In baseball.
In baseball. Yep. Okay. So, yeah.
And yet Texas A&M, Arkansas, Auburn, Ole Miss, all in the West.
Yeah. Yet they didn't play. I guess they played every West team. At least
3 games.
Yeah, at least the 3-game series.
Yeah, and then you just play a couple out of the other side.
All right. So they didn't play home and home.
No.
Like, I'm pretty sure that, we followed East Carolina very closely this year for different reasons, but I'm pretty sure they played series home and away against their conference opponents, didn't they, in the AAC? I don't know why, but it just seems like to me that for every road trip they made, they also got a return trip as well. But there's a lot of teams in that conference too, so I don't know if that can be right. I might be totally off base on that. Let's see. I'm trying. I don't know why make it so hard here, but I am trying my best to find today's College World Series schedule.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, good, because they've hit it for me on ESPN.
Yeah, it's hard to find on
just
ESPN's
two more
website.
games at 2:00, Arkansas and Stanford, and at 7:00, Ole Miss and Auburn.
Arkansas and Stanford, the IQ game.
Yep.
No offense.
That'll be
And then tell me the other one more time. I got sidetracked.
Ole Miss and Auburn.
Ole Miss and
not
Auburn.
the IQ game.
Mike didn't even catch what I was talking about in that first one. Mike just cracked on 2 schools, though.
Yeah, I did.
I will
I
say
did
that.
indeed.
I only cracked
But
on
I'm thinking
one,
about football, though.
but yeah. So after today, everybody in it will have played a game. Do you like the format where it's drag out? And when does it end? When does it end, Brett?
Is it?
4th of July? I mean, it's a long one.
It's, what is it, 27th?
I don't think it'll last
28th.
quite that long, but
They usually end on a Monday, right?
yeah. Well, if it goes to 3rd game, is that the way it is? Don't they play 2 out of 3 at the end?
I think so.
Okay.
So maybe it's Monday, Tuesday, 27th, and 20. I'm not sure. This doesn't.
I don't
this
even
doesn't
know.
say.
I don't even know right now if they're playing a double elimination tournament on each
I
side
don't either.
or pool play.
Pool play.
But
I
I
don't know.
think it's a double elimination tournament on each side. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, Lenny, Rodney,
Yeah,
Roger.
I don't know that either.
Are they
Well,
playing
let's
a
see
double
who plays
elimination
tomorrow.
tournament or pool play?
Notre Dame and Oklahoma play tomorrow, and they both won yesterday. But it could have just been that it was scheduled. I think it's double elimination on each side.
It is. Lenny just said there was an elimination game tomorrow. Bitter rivals, Texas versus Texas A&M
Ooh,
in the first elimination game of the tournament.
Yeah,
Yep.
that'll be tomorrow
that's
at 2.
early.
How about that? How about that? One of them will get to send the other home.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your money on?
Well, after what Oklahoma did to A&M pitching, I'm going to say the Longhorns.
Texas, I mean, when they had their backs against the wall at
They
East
played
Carolina,
well.
they looked great.
They did.
Yeah.
So I'll take Texas.
Their offense seems to be more explosive.
And they got
to
the
me.
guy with what's his name? The most homers in college.
Melendez.
Melendez.
Yeah,
Is that
Melendez,
is that
that's
his
it.
first name?
Yeah.
Ivan.
Ivan Melendez.
32
yeah.
homers.
I just know him as the Hispanic Titanic.
I love that nickname.
That is a great nickname. Yesterday
That's
it showed
better
his
than the
family up
Sultan
in the
of SWAT.
bleachers. Yeah, that's what Lenny said. A big game tomorrow between those 2 rivals. He also says, "Here's you a name." He's talking to me, David. Here's you a name that played at Southern Cal on those championship teams, and Mike will know this name, and Brett might. Fred Lynn.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, Fred Lynn, longtime Red Sox.
Red Sox.
Outfielder.
One of their best outfielders.
Yep. Fred Lynn might have been Rookie of the Year and MVP.
When
in
did
the
he break
same-
into the majors?
in the
70s? Early 70s?
Yes, I would guess in the early 70s. That's my guess. Pretty sure he was on the really good team that went 7 with the Reds, and they lost. He was a center fielder for Boston for
Who's your
many
favorite
years.
all-time Red Sox?
Oh my
David?
man, that's
For me, it's Yaz, Carl Yastrzemski.
yeah. It's hard to not say David Ortiz.
That's where I was going.
Probably
'cause
for
that-
most
I mean,
people would
he's
say that.
It's hard not to say.
he's
him.
the one that helped him the
break
most to
the
get to the
curse
yeah.
of the Bambino.
To win
And he
their
was a
titles.
true team spokesman too. If you remember his speech
Yeah,
after the bombing of the
he
Boston
did. He
Marathon.
got out there, and you're right.
Yep, he might have used a little profanity,
Yeah,
but that's typical in Boston.
Boston strong.
And he got the attention, and I think everybody loved him standing
that,
up
That was his
for his
seminal
city.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be hard not to say.
Well,
Lynn was Rookie of the Year in '77.
Okay.
Scott says. I bet Scott's got that baseball card. Would be the reason that he knows that, or at least at one time had that baseball card, the Fred Lynn rookie card, which would have been a good one to have.
And you could go back to Ted Williams
Oh yeah.
historically
Yeah.
if
Historically,
you want to look
yeah.
at that. Like
Yaz
the Dodgers,
was fun for me to watch. Carlton Fisk was fun for me to watch. Roger Clemens was fun for me to watch, but I can't include Clemens because we all know what he did later. You know.
Yeah.
like the Dodgers, you'd say Sandy Koufax might be the greatest Dodger, but
Sandy
obviously I didn't get to see him play.
When
Lenny
I was-
thinks I'm right on Fred Lynn winning both awards that year, rookie and MVP.
Yeah. For me, the first player that really jumped out to me for the Dodgers, and one I always think about, was Sandy Koufax. Maury Wills, too, the
Go back to my Red Sox, Rico Petrocelli,
Rico Petrocelli.
But Jim Rice.
Jim Rice, yeah, South Carolina guy.
Oh, yeah, Jim
You know,
Rice.
and yeah,
Mm.
definitely one of my favorites. So, I mean, you could just name them on and on and on throughout the years. But, you know, as far and think about this too. You might enjoy this player a lot, but back in the day, we didn't see a lot of their games. You know, when Poppy came along, I can watch the Red Sox about any night. It's
Yeah.
hard not to. It's hard not to pick him as.
And It is.
You know, and he wasn't even, he wasn't a Boston Red Sox originally. He wasn't with the Red Sox originally. Who traded him? Who let him get out of town and leave and go to Boston? Who did that? Let's take a break. We are running a little behind. Think about that. Who let him? I know Lenny will know who let him out of town, but think about that. Who let him get away? The Big Papi. Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Fort Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk. David, Mike, and Brett with you here. Another 40 minutes this morning, and Lenny nailed it on the head. Who let Big Papi get away? It was the Minnesota Twins. Let him in a trade, and I don't remember who for or whatever. But of course, he hadn't turned in to
Big Papi.
Yeah, yep. I'm guessing he was still David Ortiz and became Big Papi in Boston. I don't even know when the nickname originated for him. But guess what? What are some of the
Now this says
best nicknames
he
of
was
all time?
traded by Seattle to Minnesota in '96,
okay?
and then released by Minnesota in 2002, signed by Boston 2003.
Wonder who Seattle received.
Dave Hollins.
Dave Hollins. Is that a pitcher?
I don't think so. What? Maybe he was. I don't think he was.
Okay, I'm not sure. I can't say. Lenny might know. I cannot remember Dave Hollins. Okay, would the Dave Hollins for David Ortiz trade be worse, or would the Brett Favre trade from Atlanta to Green Bay? And I met the guy one time that was the pick that the Atlanta took. He was at a basketball. I mean, not basketball. Why would he be at a basketball camp?
Yeah.
He was at a football camp. That's what would be bad if they got far for a basketball play. But he was working a football camp at North Lincoln. Back did it again, football camp down at North Lincoln. I can't recall the guy's name right now, but if you looked him up, you would see that he was a running back out of somewhere, and he was the player that Atlanta picked in the draft that year, and Favre went to Green Bay and became a legend, just like Papi left Seattle, left Minnesota, and went to Boston and became, and I'd say a lot of Hall of Famers that happens to. It's not
Dave Hollins was a third baseman.
third baseman. Made it to the majors.
Yeah, he was a major league player.
I thought so. The name sounded familiar,
Yeah.
but for some reason, I just had in my mind.
Played for the
a
Phillies
pitcher.
for 6 years,
Okay, who
and then
was-
jumped around.
When Farr was at Atlanta, who was he an understudy for?
Oh my gosh, maybe
Bartkowski?
that's the first one that came to my
That's what
mind.
came to my mind.
But he might have been after that, though. He may have been after Bartkowski. And then he wouldn't have been an understudy under anyone
No.
because they really didn't have a quarterback again until they got Matt Ryan, did they? Worth
Not
mentioning?
really, yeah.
Brett, can you look
How
up
about
who Favre
Chandler?
who
Was
Favre was
he
traded
around that
for?
time? Or was
He wasn't bad. Chris Chandler. He wasn't bad.
He might have been later on.
Let's see. Lenny says, I think Jim Rice was a rookie, also the same year as Fred Lynn. He was the more ballyhooed prospect coming in, but Lynn had a magical rookie year. In the long run, Rice had the greater career than Lynn. He says Dave Hollins was a utility player for multiple teams in the majors. So good trade now, Scott, you don't have to tease me with stuff like this. He sends me a picture. Cloninger sends me a picture of the rookie card of Big Papi, and he's in a Minnesota uniform. So I'm guessing this means before he ever got called up, he never got called up in Seattle. He got called up as a member of the Twinkies, and then not long after was left town and went to Boston. Are you trying to find that Brett Favre thing for me?
Well, it says it was a 92 first-round pick.
Yeah.
And so that gave Atlanta 2 picks. I don't know which one it was, but they're 2 picks.
You got the names? Because if you got the name, and if you don't, I'll find
Yeah,
them.
I've got them.
I'll know it when I hear it.
Bob Whitfield.
Nope.
Tony Smith.
Yep.
Running back.
That's him. Out of that's exactly who it was, Tony Smith. Bob Whitfield, I think, was a maybe a good player throughout the year. Wasn't that a lineman? With a name like Bob Whitfield, he had to be offensive lineman.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, he was.
But Tony Smith is the name I'm looking for.
Yeah,
he played his college ball in the Southeast, I
this
think.
doesn't say.
Does it not? I think he played his college football in the Southeast. But he was the guy, and I asked him about it at that camp. I said, I've read about you, and it says you were the pick by the Falcons with the pick that they got for trading one Brett Favre. And he said, yep. He said he kind of said, more or less, that's my claim to fame is.
Yeah, he played 33 career games, 329 rushing yards. 87 carries in his career.
Yeah.
They were all in 1 year.
Oh, my gosh. Irony.
Irony?
Where'd he go to college?
Southern Miss.
Yep.
Wow, that is irony. Brett Favre.
Same as Brett
out
Favre.
of Southern Miss.
Yeah. Yep, says here he is he was born in Chicago, played his high school ball at Vicksburg, Warren Central in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Went to Southern Miss, just like Brett Favre. And Lanny, I think Lanny's a part-time resident of Hattiesburg. And
yeah, he's been there a few times.
Went to the Falcons for 3 seasons. Carolina, played for the Panthers in 95 and 96. And then it wound up being Canadian football in 98. Must have got injured because there's no 97 on here. And then played for the Philadelphia Eagles back in the NFL for a year in 99. So, and it says off-season and or practice squad member only with the Panthers and the Eagles. So he only had 3 years in the NFL with Atlanta. And he wasn't like – I don't know if – what you said, did he have any numbers at all, Brett, did you say, worth mentioning?
It said 87 career carries.
For 300-some yards.
Yeah. So,
and they were all in his first year.
So here it is, the big question of the day. Did Green Bay or Atlanta win that?
Debatable.
That makes me think of the Hornets Kobe Bryant trade on draft night.
Vladdy.
For Vladdy Divac. Yeah. Which, I mean, Kobe didn't want to play for Charlotte. He wanted to go to L.A., but I don't know if Favre had any, I don't know if Favre cared where he was.
At that point, he wanted on the field.
He just wanted to play.
At that point, he wanted on the field. And I'm guessing he was there when Don Majkowski, remember him, Magic Man? Majkowski, didn't he quarterback at Virginia?
Mm-hmm.
You're shaking your head a lot, Mike, but now are you really agreeing with me?
Virginia.
You may have already said it. Who did Favre play behind Atlanta?
That's what we're trying to think of. Was he there with Bartkowski, or was it later? I think it's later, maybe Chris Chandler. He didn't play behind anybody because he didn't play.
That's what I'm saying.
He watched. Whoever it was in Atlanta, he learned what not to do. That's how he got his training. He learned what not to do at that time. Lenny says Ortiz did play a few seasons in Minnesota before signing with Boston. He also, Dave Hollins, and we'll let you guess who won that trade too. Dave Hollins or Dave Ortiz. Who got the?
Well, nobody won that one because that was Minnesota making the trade, and then I'd say they lost it.
They didn't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They traded for Ortiz and then they let him go.
No, they didn't. Did they? They traded for him. That's right.
Yeah,
and then let him go.
And then let him go.
It wasn't really a trade with him in Boston. Boston picked up a released player, and he wound up.
Well, here are the other 2 quarterbacks on Atlanta's roster, and I think both of them played some. Chris Miller and Billy Joe Tolliver.
Billy Joe.
I forgot about Chris Miller. I just had the.
So I don't know who would have been the starter.
Probably whichever one was healthy at the time, because it seemed like Miller went through some injury. All quarterbacks, it seemed like 50% of them go through.
Where did Billy Joe Tolliver
injury.
play his college ball? Texas Tech.
Yeah, Texas Tech.
Good Lord.
Chris
Well,
Miller.
how'd I pull that one out there?
I'd have said West Virginia, just because of his name.
No, Billy Joe is big in Texas.
Yeah,
Chris Miller.
Right. You're right.
Chris Miller started 14 games that year.
Okay. Chris Miller. There you go. Chris Miller. Started 14 of the 16 games for the. I can visualize him. I remember him. I don't know where he went to college.
Oregon.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. And then to find out Tony Smith played his college ball. That's the real kicker right there. To find out that he played his college ball at Southern Miss, just like one Brett Favre did himself. A couple things I wanted to make note of here. We'll talk a little bit about some Legion baseball. And
we're not going to mention the NBA Finals.
Go ahead. I'm looking something up. Take it away, Mike. NBA
No, I
Finals.
mean, did Steph Curry validate his spot as one of the top 10 all time by winning his fourth title and his first Finals MVP?
Who you bumping out? I don't even know who the top 10 is.
Well, I don't know.
But if you had a top 10,
that's been the chatter.
Who you
the last
bumping
few
out?
days. Some people even put him in the top 5. I don't know whether I'd go that far, but four-time champ.
I don't know what else he can do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
pretty much completes the cycle.
Didn't they go two straight years without missing the playoffs? The last 2 years, they didn't even make it to the playoffs.
In
Is that right,
2020, they had the worst record in the NBA. 2 years later.
Yeah, last year they made the
champion.
play-in tournament.
But now a
but
lot of
they lost.
injuries and a lot of lost players, right?
Right.
It was
but
the reason
the
for a
fact
lot of
that
that.
they were able to invent themselves in a way.
Yeah.
I don't think Klay Thompson's still not what he was.
No, he's
before
not.
The injury.
It's.
Here'd be the debate.
Curry carried him, but the organization is great.
Is Curry better than Durant?
No, I wouldn't say Curry's a top 10 player.
So, but if you include availability,
Well, what I mean,
4-time NBA.
How much time has Durant missed over the last?
Well, Robert Ory's a 7-time NBA champ. I mean, he's
So he's third on the list.
yeah,
then, right?
right behind Bill Russell, second greatest player ever.
Mhm.
Robert Ory.
Yeah.
But Horry was more of a role player, tag-alonger. Curry has been...
Ory's not in his class, Mike. Don't even mention Robert Ory. I mean,
I'm not.
Yeah, he's got 7 rings, but guess what?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He
Well,
was
I'm
a
just-
tag-alonger.
So does the ball boy on those.
I'm just saying you
teams.
can't go on the number of titles that they
You
won.
can't.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never liked that. You can't.
Okay.
You know. I mean, Tom
I would-
Brady's the most decorated quarterback of all time, but he's not the best quarterback of all
Has there been
time.
anybody
So
that's had a bigger effect on the sport and changed it than Stephen?
That's a great
not
point.
lately.
I mean, go back.
No.
Think of history.
Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, both at least
Wilt's
equal.
terrible player.
At least equal. You just said change the sport though.
Well,
But he did because of his size.
yeah, I saw some clips of him in a Davison uniform in the wake of the Bob McKillop announcement. Skinny, 6'2". I mean, he looked like every guy that ever shot a jump shot. So I think he did change it. You know, he put the little man, the shooter, at the forefront of the game.
I would say he's the greatest shooter ever.
Better than Ray.
Greatest 3-point shooter ever.
Now,
Yeah, just because he
yeah.
does it different ways.
Yeah.
Ray Allen's became more of a catch and shoot kind of guy.
Better than Hondo Havlicek.
Sure.
I mean, who would be the top 5 shooters of all time? We don't even know what percentage Maravich shot from outside, and you'll never know the 3 points because he wasn't a 3-point line. But we're talking about a guy that
Well, I would say Kevin Durant's one of the greatest shooters of all time.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. But I put-
Larry Bird.
Yeah. I put Curry at the
Bird
top.
was a lower percentage than you'd think. I mean, his highlight reel's great, but I don't think his 3-point shooting percentage. I can't remember, but I don't think it was all that great. He just hit them, in the final 2 minutes of the games. It was probably 90%. It seems like, but so he was clutch. But I just wonder who you'd throw in there. Would you say Ray Allen second? If you put Curry on top, would you say Ray Allen second? And,
Well, for sheer majestic distance, Curry is.
where does Reggie Miller fit
that's
fit
right.
into this?
Yeah,
He's one of the best.
He's one of the best.
I'm just sitting here trying to think of the names that might pop in my head that would belong on such a list of shooters. And there again, if you don't just strictly go by who shot the most and who had the best percentage,
I
then
wonder
it's
what Jerry
debatable,
West's
right?
percentage was.
Field
Of
goal
course,
percentage.
I mean, I like Kevin Durant because I think he takes difficult contested shots.
Okay, and when we talk
But
about
he has
the greatest shooter,
because he's 6'10".
are we just talking from behind the 3-point line,
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I say Curry's the best 3-point
Right.
shooter.
Or are we just talking about
and
shooting?
the most.
Wilt Chamberlain probably had the highest percentage.
Yeah.
You know,
When we think
in
of
basketball too.
yeah, when we think of shooting, though, we think of the long range shot, the bomb, the
Yeah.
3-pointer.
Yeah, I mean,
And
'cause
Curry can shoot from anywhere
Yeah.
across half court, which
Yeah.
some of those other guys didn't
His
have the
range.
range.
What
that-
was the
that
guy
Curry
from
has.
Duke this year? The big man in the middle. He shot like 70%.
Yeah,
from
Mark
the field.
Williams.
He's the greatest
Mark
shooter of all
Williams. I
time.
know.
He shot 70% from the field.
Hey, even higher than that was the guy that played for Duke during the pandemic year. What was his name? Oh, God. He was a big man. Help me, guys. I can't think.
You got yourself into that, man.
I got myself into it. Vernon, no.
Odom.
Yeah, Vernon Odom.
Vernon Carey.
That's it.
That was the year they didn't get to
Yeah,
play
Carey.
the tournament.
I think he shot about 75% that year.
Just dunking everything, every shot that.
Yeah.
Lenny says.
I mean,
Lanny and-
Dirk Nowitzki's one of the great
That's
great
true,
shooters.
too.
Lenny says that Lanny and Jim Ross have something in common. They both played in the Shrine Bowl. He was a star running back out of Anderson, South Carolina, that went on the pro baseball route. So, heck of an athlete.
Yeah.
Anderson, South Carolina, right there next to Clemson
Mhm.
for Mr. Rice.
It's hard for me to make a list of top 10 NBA players of all time. All I can really go on is from 1985.
Yeah.
It's one of those
forward.
things that
The
there's
game-
no true answer.
No.
And it's just for fun. It's arguable because you can't actually sit down. I would say if you got a bunch, let the sports writers and gathered 100 sports writers together,
You'd have a different
in
top
NBA,
10.
yeah, you would, because most of them are going to choose from their era.
Sure.
And, no matter when that was, because that's what they were focused on more. So it's just like the best quarterback of all time. Yeah. Who's the best pitcher of all time? Come on. Who's the best hitter of all time?
Endless subjective debate.
Most would say Pete Rose or Ty Cobb, right? I never saw Ty Cobb swing a bat. But
Yeah.
just the stories. So how can I argue that he was? Only by what I've read, Pete, I do remember playing.
Barry Bonds in my time.
Bonds was, not only a great power hitter, but he made contact.
Albert
he never struck
Pujols.
out. Yeah, Rod Carew.
Tony
you don't even
Gwynn.
remember Rod Carew playing, but there are a lot you could say that about. Who gets in there now and makes contact, don't strike out much? Is there a major leaguer today
Not many.
that don't strike out a whole lot and will hit opposite field or whatever it takes to get on base? I don't know. I can't name that.
No.
Butch says the best shooter was Worrell B. Free.
Well, hey.
What was Worrell B. Free's name before he changed it to Worrell B. Free? There you go. I'll leave you with that. We're going to take a time out. We'll come back. I'll give you some lyrics, see if you can guess what the song is. Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And welcome back to Sports Talk. David Keever, Mike Powell, Brett Keever. Glad to have you with us. A couple comments. Scott Childers says DJ LeMahieu, best contact hitter. Now, is that because Scott may be a Yankee fan, or does he really think that he is the best? I'd like to see. I guess what you look for in a situation like that, guys, is high at bats. Low
strikeout percentage. Yeah.
I'd like to see some of those and just see who we would consider the top. But that's a good one. And you know what? It makes contact and he gets on in front of those other 8 home run hitters that are in that lineup, and it makes it hard to beat. I got several people coming through with World B. Free's real name, Lloyd Bernard. And did he go by Lloyd B. Free before? That's for the people that answered this question. Butch says that's always been a go-to trivia question in my era, was where did Lloyd B. or World B. Free play his college ball? Think about that. Where did he play his college ball? And it was Guilford College over in Greensboro. So he went. Now that's a good question.
This says he
probably New York.
I think he said he was born in Atlanta.
Okay.
Brett says born in Atlanta.
I think that's. Let's see. I had him up a minute ago.
Born in Atlanta. I don't know about Guilford. I'd like to check it out and see if he's the most famous athlete from. Of course, we got some locals here: Nick Basil and Charlie.
Yeah, it says he grew up in Brownsville, New York, but he was born in Atlanta.
Born in Atlanta, grew up in Brownsville, New York.
He went to high school in Brooklyn.
So here we go with this. Is that upstate New York? Remember that? Wasn't that last week?
Yeah.
It was you're either in the city or it's upstate because there's nothing else.
Attended high school in Brooklyn. So not upstate.
Not upstate. That's what it ought to be called. Not upstate. Well, my computer's locked up. Is your phone locked up or anything? Let's see here. There, I got back to the home page here at least on the ESPN. Not saying it's going to work for any reason, but it is at least back to the home. When I go back to the home page, the first thing that pops up on my screen is a picture of Steph Curry, who will have his jersey retired by Davidson College. I'm guessing that'll be at a basketball game, a ceremony. I don't know. I hadn't seen details of you guys, but I'm guessing at a basketball game next season. Also, while Davidson's in the news, Bob McKillop, head coach for 33 years. Is that what you guys told me this morning? Is that what, Brett?
33.
33 years.
You think it's
stepped
just
down?
he's 71? You think it's just time?
Couldn't be anything else.
Yeah, the timing of it, is that strange? June, 2 months after the season's over, 3 months. I don't know what to take from that. Or they didn't name a coach, so I guess they didn't want to take us away the spotlight from McKillop's announcement, but I don't know where that'll go.
Lenny says, here's you a trivia question. Who was Lloyd B. Free's NBA teammate at Guilford College? I did not look this up. I'll send the answer shortly. Lloyd B. Free's NBA.
Ooh.
So another player that made the NBA on the same Guilford team. And what would have been those years?
72 to 75.
Artis Gilmore never played there, did he? Before making the.
Well, there's a Michael Carr. Do you know him?
Sounds familiar.
He played at Guilford and made it to the NBA.
Michael Carr.
Yeah, he was drafted in 73.
ML Carr.
ML Carr.
Yeah,
That's
ML
it. That's
Carr.
it.
Yeah,
ML
that's right.
Carr.
Yeah.
That's
how
what he
we
went by.
remember him.
Thank you, Lenny.
Yeah,
ML Carr.
ML
yeah.
Carr.
Yeah, Michael, I sounded
Yeah.
familiar. Kenny Carr, I remember, but ML Carr, yeah. And he played his high school ball in North Carolina, didn't he? ML Carr.
Wallace Rosehill.
Oh, how about that? How about that?
Dave Odom, also Guilford College.
Okay. And did his college coaching right there in the same county, didn't he? So,
Yeah.
well, I guess
Well, no.
Winston's actually in Forsyth,
Forsyth,
but
yeah.
neighboring county, same area. Yeah. I promised I'd give this, so I will. You want to guess these lyrics? Who sings these? Handguns are made for killing. They ain't no good for nothing else. And if you like to drink your whiskey, you might even shoot yourself.
Got to be Leonard Skinner. Saturday Night Special.
Bingo. Mike is all over it.
Oh, yeah.
Mike
baby.
is all over it this morning. That
was good beer drinking song back in the 70s. mid-70s.
McKillop's son is getting the job, according to
Okay.
or got the job. He's not saying going to get. He's got the job. So
All right.
okay. So Butch, how long? I said it had to be a long time assistant, been on that staff. How long had his son?
Well, I know he had
Maybe
a son
10
that
years?
played
You had a son that
about
played that day.
8 or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if he has more than one son.
Now, what was McKillop's record in the NCAA tournament? 3
and 10.
3 and 10. 3 and 10.
All 3 wins with staff.
Went to the Elite Eight.
And who did they lose to in the Elite Eight?
You've got me there. Oklahoma.
Michigan.
Okay, Michigan.
No, was it?
believe.
I thought it was Kansas.
Could be. I
There
thought
goes Mike
Michigan.
asking the questions again without knowing.
I think Kansas beat them, and then
okay.
they went on to win the title.
National title.
Okay. I don't know. My first impulse was Michigan.
It
but
was the year
Now
that-
that I think about it.
It was the year that Kansas beat Memphis in the
That's
national
right.
title.
Got me.
Who made the shot for Kansas to win it?
Mario Chalmers.
Mario Chalmers.
Is that the one Stephen A. says? Mario Chalmers. Here's the funny thing. Mike over here answered the trivia question of his own with Michigan, and then he says, who hit the game-winning shot for Kansas?
Yeah, no.
Well, that Kansas shot was in the title game, not
like it.
not
Yeah.
when they beat
Okay.
Davidson.
Yeah.
I had Michigan on my mind yesterday, but
Lenny said I think it was
Soon as-
Kansas, and
Yeah.
so that knocked
Davidson
Curry
beat
out.
Davidson beat Gonzaga, Georgetown, and Wisconsin.
Yep.
Did you hear
Those-
Mike Pratt passed away? He followed Lee Rose at Charlotte.
yeah, he passed.
Laney says Mike Pratt, who
Sure do.
coached at
Legendary
UNC
coach
Charlotte.
he played for. Mike Pratt.
That would have to be
60s,
Joe B. Hall.
Kentucky,
Oh, the Baron,
Adolph Rupp.
Adolph Rupp.
Yeah. Well, Joe B. Hall did coach at Kentucky.
He did.
So
1978 championship
Yep.
with the Wildcats.
Don Revel says it's Matt McKillop. He's been an assistant 14 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's fitting.
earned a spot. 2009, Lenny says, was Kansas in that title game. Net said that the song we used in the Burt Reynolds movie, the Saturday Night Special song we used in the Burt Reynolds movie, Gator and McCluskey, which also had Jerry Reed and
Jerry
Ned.
Reed.
And Ned.
Beatty.
Yep, Ned Beatty. Thank you.
What movie was Beatty later in that featured a wild ride?
Deliverance. Enough said. Wasn't Ned Beatty in Bonnie and Clyde?
Warren.
Yes.
He played Clyde.
Ned was too, though. No.
No.
Warren played Clyde, but Ned was too, wasn't he, Laney?
No.
Yeah. Laney says yes. Mike says no. Let's stop right there and get us a bet. Let's stop right there and get us a bet.
Breakfast.
Mike ain't going to pay for breakfast. I don't know what you could bet Mike Powell because
I would pay for. Well,
What's the
wait a
argument?
minute.
Who
What's
played
the
Clyde?
question? That Ned Beatty.
Clyde was Warren Beatty for sure. Faye Dunaway
But
was.
you're saying
was
Ned
Bonnie.
Beatty was also in the movie.
I asked the
Bonnie and
question.
Clyde.
I didn't say nothing. I said, was Ned Beatty also in Bonnie and Clyde? Brett's looking it up right now to see if Ned
Gene
Beatty.
Hackman for sure was, but I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Ned Beatty was.
What?
I don't either.
Personally.
He played Blanche's husband.
About what year was Bonnie and Clyde released? That'll help me find
Blanche's
it quicker.
husband was
70,
Gene Hackman.
70 to 72, 74.
I'll bet him on that one because Blanche's husband in Bonnie and Clyde was played by Gene Hackman,
Was played by Gene
and
Hackman.
it was the brother of Clyde. Clyde's brother was Blanche's husband.
the
What-
Barrow. Yeah.
Mike, what year was it? Bonnie and Clyde. Just a guess, so I can get
67.
close here.
Yep. Most of our audience are probably isn't old enough to know that movie, but I'm not getting anything on text about Ned Beatty, and I remember Ned Beatty most for Deliverance, and
too.
there's some others.
Gene Hackman
Gene Hackman.
was Buck Powell.
Buck Barra.
Good thing you didn't bet, Mike. Lanny would have had to buy you breakfast.
Doggone
Well,
it.
backed off. Good move.
It looks like Deliverance was Ned Beatty's first acting role.
His first one. How about that?
1972.
Really?
Yep. Lenny says Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Yep. Gene Hackman went on to bigger and better roles.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just a
Supporting actor in
there.
that one. Oh, yeah. God,
Yeah, you were right on it. Bonnie and Clyde was 1967.
67. God.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. I guess 70 or 72, just as a guess, because
Yeah, 67. Kind of changed the way people made pictures because it was so violent.
it was violent. Yep.
Gene Wilder also in.
Yeah, Gene Wilder's
Bonnie and
in it,
Clyde.
plays a small supporting role.
Jesse.
That is amazing that Gene Wilder
Yeah.
was in that movie. Yeah, that goes way back. That's for sure. Which didn't even realize Warren Beatty played Clyde. Yeah, we remember Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. They were the top draw there.
And that movie was
Obviously.
big too because of the fashion, the late 20s, early 30s gangster fashions.
Yeah, I think it's Lanny and I were talking about this the other day. In that period, you just walk. If you're going to rob a bank, just walk in, walk back out. Fix your suit up, and you just blend in with everybody
Yeah,
else.
you wear a suit.
There's
you
no
rob a
cameras.
bank, Yeah.
There's no cameras, not much of an alarm system. Just,
Yeah.
It's just blend. If they'd never drove fast, they may never got caught, right? They just drive like normal speed and not trying to get out of there in a hurry or anything. You may never get
Clyde
caught.
liked fast cars.
Hey, I've seen their car. I've seen their car.
Where?
In person. At
Oh, yeah,
the
the one-
crime museum in Pigeon Forge.
There's a crime museum.
That's a good reason to go. I'd
and-
like to see
and-
that.
See the,
The
you
bullet
see the
riddle-
Bronco from O.J. Simpson's chase.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, the Bonnie and Clyde car made the route to Cleveland County Fair.
Did it?
If there's a crime museum in Pigeon Forge, wonder if anything off of John Bobbitt would be on display. You know, I mean that's about as
Ooh.
bad a crime as I've heard of. But
Or you could see some of the same things from Jeffrey Dahmer's refrigerator.
yeah, his pizza, Domino's. Now I've totally lost base of what I was trying to find.
Deep rabbit hole you went down.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's one of the deepest rabbit holes we've been
It,
down lately. I think.
That one, I know where I was going now finally. But Legion Baseball, unfortunately, the Lincoln County Post 455 Cardinals and Coach Bruce Bolick had to fold up shop this week, call it a season.
Yeah.
Lack of players and family health issues, and I think he's taking care of his brother quite a bit.
Yeah. I believe you're right about that. Wayne Bolick, who was an assistant coach under Bruce for many years.
Till his health got bad.
Yeah, I remember when the team formed, 1990, Post 455. Denver was the host post. It's sad, really.
Host post.
Host Legion Post. It's kind of sad to see that happen. I don't know. I think we know what that kind of says about Legion baseball now. That it's just difficult.
Well, Cherryville had a forfeit this week. Henderson County was
Henderson
supposed
County.
to come to Cherryville, couldn't come because too many were playing travel ball.
One pitcher. They needed one pitcher to show up, but he was playing travel ball.
Maybe
He
they
didn't
had.
want to
So
play.
you're telling me they had 25 players, but that one pitcher didn't show up. We're not going without him.
No, I think it was like, they were down to 9 or 10 or something. But,
I think I would go and try for a
yeah.
because it just turned into a forfeit. I mean, the
Yeah,
regular
for-
scheduled
yeah.
games are going to be forfeits now.
And the standings of now, of course, in the East reflect all the games that Lincoln County won't play, I guess, or no?
Yeah,
sure.
he went ahead and put. I didn't do that in my standings.
Okay.
I didn't include. I just put their actual record in my standings
Okay.
because that's bad enough. That puts them in. That shows them in last place anyway.
Right.
But on,
How many games had Lincoln County played, actually, before they pulled the
I'll let you
plug?
do the math. They were 1-5.
Okay.
How many did play?
I'm not going to answer that's beneath my dignity, even for a non-math major.
That's 6.
Yeah.
I'll throw that out there. They had played 6 games. They were supposed to play on Sunday night, and that's when he pulled the plug. They dn't have enough to go play.
Well,
I
was
think
there
it the
one win,
Gaston
a
Braves.
division game?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Burke
well,
County.
That's good.
Burke County.
Yeah, I mean, and, for all those years, Bruce kind of was he was, post 455. I mean, he kind of did it all.
He funded it.
He funded it.
I mean, yeah.
He ran it. He
Lot of
kept it
time.
going. You got to give him a lot of
And how
credit.
old would we guess he is now? Around 75?
He's around 73 or 4.
Yeah. Okay, 73
He was
or
a
4.
standout baseball player at Mount Holly High School,
Mhm.
then went on to North Carolina and
Mhm.
played for the Tar Heels. And I just really think he did it all those years, even after he retired from East Lincoln, just out of love of the game.
That's
and
it, totally.
enjoying-
100% because he loved baseball.
Yeah, and
That's
he
why he
liked
did it.
working with young people.
What
And
What's sad to me is that could be a great program.
Sure.
If they got everybody from the schools that they would draw from.
yeah, look how much success those schools have had that they draw from.
East, North,
Lincoln.
and Lincoln Charter.
I mean,
Yeah, that's all.
Always at
that
the
should
top
be
of
all
the
you
standings.
need.
Always
those
at the
three
top of the
schools.
standings. And they even get some out South Lake Christian
Yeah.
too. So, yeah, I agree.
Well, what do you think this says about the state of American Legion baseball in our area? Anything at all?
Nothing. It's just same as it's been.
same as it's
Same.
been.
He struggled for players the last
Yeah.
10, 12 years.
Right.
Yeah,
Like, he's
I
just
think
had
the
enough
long
to-
time programs with good traditions are
Are
still fine,
Are still in good shape.
but there's going to be others that just come and go.
Come and go.
Hmm.
That's right. Kings Mountain has come and gone. Taylorsville has come and gone. Who else has come and gone?
Well, it seems like the Charlotte ones kind of rotate
they
around.
do. Queen City's doing very well, but
Is that
They-
what used to be Myers Park? Played at Myers Park. Was that Queen City?
Mhm. It is now.
And
It
they're
was
still-
Charlotte Post 262.
Okay, yeah.
So it's still Post 262. They just go by
262.
Queen City. Yep. Roger says it's a police museum in Pigeon Forge. Lenny says Denver Powell played the Texas Ranger that was chasing Bonnie and Clyde. So that's Briscoe Darling, or whoever you want to, whatever you want to call Denver Pile. And did you get to read your Legion piece? Has to go into the. Did you get to read your Legion piece? Had to go into the post office and mail someone a Post 100 hat. Thanks.
Denver Pile was
Not 100.
Pollard's daddy that set him up.
Not 100% sure
Yeah.
on that. Just real quick, and I know time is.
Oh, here's one thing
winding.
from Post 100 I did see.
Okay.
I guess Ned Yates, the PR guy, Noah Huss announces he will play his college baseball and academically too at Ferrum College.
Grandson of.
Got me.
Yeah, that's a good trivia question. Grandson of. Let's see. Last night, real quick, it was Cleveland County defeating Hickory 5-2. The Gaston Braves beat Mint Hill. One you'd like to have seen, Mike, 20-11. 31 runs
boy.
in that game last night. Henderson forfeited again last night. It was to Caldwell County. And that's it. That's the entire update. And that grandpa would be one, Richard Smith. Thanks for tuning in this morning. For
Richard
Mike,
Smith,
Brett,
good one.
I'm David. Breakfast time. See you next week.